Today we stand in solidarity to mourn all animals who are victims of our society. We stand here today as messengers of non-violence and social responsibility. We are productive and respectful members of our community who come from all walks of life. And we stand solemnly together to mourn the loss of our loved ones and to proclaim our allegiance to non-violence, justice and compassion.
In silence,
they suffer.
in agony,
They linger.
in death,
They cry.
what we want,
Liberation.
when do we want it?
Now.
In silence,
They suffer.
in agony,
They linger.
in death,
They cry.
what we want,
Liberation.
when do we want it?
Now.
In silence,
They suffer.
in agony,
They linger.
in death,
They cry.
what we want,
Liberation.
when do we want it?
Now.
In silence,
They suffer.
in agony,
They linger.
in death,
They cry.
what do we want?
Liberation.
When do we want it?
Now.
In silence,
They suffer.
in agony,
They linger.
in death,
They cry.
what do we want?
Liberation.
When do
We
want
stand here today to speak out for social justice and equality. We are not asking society to improve the welfare of all those confined or trapped in industrial animal factories, laboratories, circuses, zoos, aquariums and rodeos, but to free them. We are appealing to our fellow humans to extend the mantle of social justice, freedom and equality to include all sentient beings. Animals are not our property. They are not our slaves. Animals are not raw materials for our personal desires or to use at the call for our own ends. Animals are individuals, just like we are, with their own lives to live, instincts to fulfill, and families to protect.
I was asked why I'm an animal rights activist. I remember the exact moment that everything changed for me, the moment that I became a full-blown animal rights activist. It was February of 2014. I'd only been vegan for about 2 months, and I was on my very first Sea Shepherd campaign in Taiju, Japan, documenting the brutal and barbaric slaughter of innocent dolphins. I had no idea what I was in for when I was going to Japan on my first trip. On my first Red Coke day, I'm sorry, it's a bit emotional, I watched as an entire pod of dolphins were herded into the small killing cove by birds with banger poles on them. I watched dolphins fighting for their lives before they were netted off, fighting for their lives before they were netted off and had their fate sealed. I saw their family members hand-picked for entertainment and separated from their pod as they watched their entire family massacred in front of them. I heard their screams. I heard their last thrashing movements in the water of their bodies. I smelt their blood. I watched while those murderous monsters laughed and sat on their corpses while being transported to the butcher house, where they were dismembered. I watched those traumatized dolphins have trainers starve them, medicate them, torture them, torment them, and even mock them daily. They lost everything, and then they were forced to perform degrading and unnatural tricks for human entertainment for the captivity industry. This experience broke me. It broke me in a way I can't even describe. It also lit a fire in the pit of my stomach. So much so that when I returned from campaign that very day, I became a full-blown animal liberation activist overnight, and I haven't actually stopped since. I've been in the movement for many years, almost a decade. I've worn many hats and have been involved with and organised actions, protests, etc. More than I can mention here. You don't have to be on the front lines. There are so many ways that you can be an advocate for animals. We are in the fight of our lives. We need to treat animal rights like a life and death situation, because it is life and death for the billions of animals that are abused, exploited and murdered. We need to use our voices in whichever capacity we can and fight against injustices to the most vulnerable of beings. We have a voice that can be heard. They don't. They need us. If you want animal liberation, then you must fight for animal liberation. Thank you.
In silence.
They suffer.
In agony.
They linger.
In death.
They cry. Liberation.
When we want it.
Now.